Imagine a world where every major nation is involved in a conflict so expansive that it touches every corner of the globe, crossing over continents, spreading across oceans, and even extending into space. This is the terrifying reality we could face if World War III were to ever come to pass. Throughout the annals of human history, we've witnessed countless battles and wars, ranging from minor skirmishes to colossal conflict. Yet, if a third world war were to break out, it might eclipse all previous wars, becoming the most devastating and destructive conflict that humanity has ever known. Such a war could involve vast armies, intricate alliances, and highly advanced military strategies. But what could possibly ignite such a catastrophic event? Which countries would be drawn into the fray, and how might the battles be fought in this new age of warfare? Welcome to Astroscience, where we explore the mysteries of the universe and dive into some of the most compelling what-if scenarios imaginable. From the deepest reaches of space to the farthest corners of our own planet, we're here to ask the profound questions and uncover the scientific principles behind them. Today, we are delving into a serious and deeply thought-provoking topic. What would happen if World War III were to occur? The idea of a third world war has loomed over the global consciousness for decades, especially since the end of World War II. The world came alarmingly close to such a conflict during the Cold War in the 1960s, when tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union almost erupted into full-scale war. The Cuban Missile Crisis, for instance, was a terrifying moment, and the world stood on the brink of nuclear war. Fortunately, due to diplomatic negotiations and cooler heads prevailing, the crisis was averted, and a global war was avoided. However, what if we aren't as fortunate next time? Could World War III really happen, and what might be the spark that sets it off? Predicting the exact timing or cause of such a catastrophic event is inherently challenging. These scenarios, while alarming, make the outbreak of a world war seem almost inevitable. However, in reality, the likelihood of such a war is much lower than these hypothetical situations might suggest. Since the end of World War II in 1945, numerous conflicts have occurred around the world, such as the wars in Vietnam, Korea, Iraq, and Afghanistan, as well as various civil wars. But none of these have escalated into a full-blown global war. For a true world war to occur, it would require the involvement of multiple nations from all over the globe, and the geopolitical landscape has evolved significantly since the mid-20th century. Countries today are not as rigidly allied as they once were, and military capabilities and strategies have advanced to new levels of sophistication. If World War III were to break out, the consequences could be nothing short of catastrophic. The sheer scale of destruction could result in millions, if not tens of millions, of casualties, and the damage could be so extensive that it might take decades or even centuries for the world to recover. The weapons and technologies available today are far more advanced and lethal than anything seen in the past. Soldiers could be equipped with exoskeletons, advanced metal frames that greatly enhance their strength and endurance, enabling them to carry heavy equipment over long distances with ease. We could see the deployment of weapons designed to shoot around corners, making urban combat even more treacherous. Furthermore, warfare might not be confined to the ground or the skies. It could extend into space, with nations fighting for control over weaponized satellites that could disable or destroy critical infrastructure on Earth. While much of this might sound like science fiction, it's important to recognize the grim reality of modern warfare. These are weapons designed not just for strategic advantage, but for maximum lethality. However, the future of warfare might not involve massive armies clashing on battlefields. Instead, the next major conflict could be dominated by drones, artificial intelligence, and robotic soldiers. The battlefield of tomorrow could be filled with machines that fight in place of humans, reducing human casualties, but raising ethical and strategic questions. Moreover, future conflicts might avoid physical violence altogether, focusing instead on cyber warfare. In this scenario, Battles could be fought through the internet, with countries hacking into each other's systems, stealing secrets, or shutting down critical infrastructure like power grids and financial systems. But what could drive the world to the brink of such a devastating conflict? One potential flashpoint is the competition for resources, particularly fresh water. As climate change progresses and populations grow, access to fresh water is becoming increasingly scarce. In some regions, water is already a highly contested resource, and nations may go to great lengths to secure access to it. If World War III were to break out, how might it end? One of the key reasons a global war has not occurred since 1945 is the existence and proliferation of nuclear weapons. The end of World War II saw the United States drop 2 atomic bombs on Japan, causing unprecedented destruction and killing over 100,000 people. The cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were devastated, and the effects of radiation lingered for decades. Today, nuclear weapons are exponentially more powerful, with an estimated 14,000 nuclear warheads distributed around the world, primarily held by the United States, Russia, and China. The use of a single nuclear bomb could obliterate a city and cause unimaginable loss of life. In such a dire scenario, there would be no winners. Only a planet left in ruins and humanity facing its darkest hour. Full-scale World War III would not only change the face of the Earth, but would likely alter the course of human history forever. However, it is important to keep into perspective that the probability of such a massive global conflict erupting is relatively low. The international community, despite its differences, has shown a strong preference for diplomacy and conflict resolution. If 2 countries were to go to war, it is more likely that other nations would choose to remain neutral, allowing the conflict to be resolved by those directly involved. War, after all, brings untold suffering, and it is in everyone's best interest to avoid it whenever possible. Thanks for joining us on this cosmic adventure with astroscience. While today's topic was more serious, it's important to think about the effects global events can have on our world. Remember, understanding these scenarios helps us value peace and diplomacy even more. If you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep up with all our future explorations. Let us know in the comments what if scenario you want us to cover next. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.